I'm CJ with Starter Builds, and today I'm going to show you how to build this really cool DIY live edge desk on Starter Builds. Yo, CJ here with another video, and in today's video we are going to be turning this live edge slab into a desk for my beautiful baby mama, the love of my life. She is a business owner. As we head into 2026, I told her as a Christmas gift I would build her a desk because in her room right now, her get ready room, whatever you want to call it, she does not have actual space to work and get work done. A lot of times she's either doing it at the kitchen table, doing it on the couch, working from all different areas on her small laptop. And I think as someone that needs an efficient workspace, this is the perfect time to do it. I had this live edge piece of walnut laying around, so pretty straightforward video as a beginner. You can source these from your local lumber mill, or you can find Facebook Marketplace, and from there you can build a desk. So stay tuned, we're gonna get after it.
All right, y'all, we are back, and here's the space we are working with. This is my girl's get ready room, and of course I thought this section over here would be a great spot for a workspace and this desk. So we're going to be utilizing this space for the desk. I have this live edge walnut slab here. These are the specific measurements we're working with here. Really all I'm going to be doing is removing the bark, sanding it to get it very smooth, and then I'm going to be applying some finish to it. So again, very DIY friendly. You can find these locally sourced within your area on Facebook Marketplace, local lumber mills, or even if someone's cut down a tree. So stay tuned, let's dive into it. Now you probably noticed the money sign with the $250. I did not pay $250 for this slab. Someone I went to high school with actually was getting rid of this along with other slabs, so I got this for a steal. I think for all three pieces I got them for maybe around 300 bucks total, so too good to pass up. But here I'm just using a chisel and a hammer to remove some of that bark. This is a great starting place. I highly recommend removing the bark. It's going to give it a little bit easier texture to work with. A couple other techniques to remove bark would be this wire wheel. This does an okay job. You could also use a flap disc on an angle grinder, but the chisel with the hammer mainly does a good job to remove a lot of the bark. This wire wheel will get in a lot of the different crevices or hard to reach places that the chisel cannot reach to. I believe this wire wheel is 60 grit, so you can get them in all different types of grit. And then finally I switched over to the sander. So I'm starting with 60, working my way all the way up to 220. This took a long time, so you have to be really patient if you're going to be doing this. Again, the flap disc on the angle grinder is probably the best way to go about it, and from a time-saving perspective, it can save you a lot of time. But keep in mind, it'll create a really big mess. There'll be a lot of dust flying around. And one thing in my shop is I like to minimize the amount of cleanup time in between projects. So I went for the sander. I have it hooked up to a shop vac, and then I also have air filtration going throughout my shop to pick up some of that fine dust as well.
Alright, so up to this point we have officially removed all of the bark off of this live edge desk here, and we've sanded everything down with 60 grit. I put a light coat of water on here, just spritz on there. I'm going to move up to 80 grit here, and we're going to work our way all the way up to 220, possibly 400 to get a really smooth finish. So stay tuned for the rest of that.
I've found that over the years, just spritzing a little bit of water onto your surface will help to give you the smoothest surface when sanding. I guess you could consider this a wet sanding. I've done this on a few different cutting boards as well as some other desks, and they came out with a very silky smooth finish. So I'm not really sure the science behind this, but just spritz some water on there and sand as you work up through the different grits, and this leaves you with a very smooth, long-lasting finish. So stay tuned. I'm going to get down to sanding and we're going to go from there. So in between those wet sands, I'm just making sure I can get as much fine particle dust off of there. You'll notice the residue that's left over. So you really want to ensure that you're wiping off that fine dust as you're moving up grits and as you're spritzing it with water. You don't want to be spraying that fine particle dust down into your work surface. So just be sure you use some type of cloth to pick up that fine dust and really remove it. I find that this does a really good job to ensure cleanliness of the surface. You could also use a shop vac or a leaf blower. Sometimes I use a leaf blower and blow off all that fine particle dust too as well. So stay tuned. I'm going to continue sanding and we're going to apply some finish here shortly. All right, we jumped up to 120 and then we're going to be finishing with 220. Again, just a little spritz of water on the surface to help raise some of that grain and allow for a smooth, silky sanding finish. Keep in mind, I have my work surface right now raised on some bench cookies. I just picked these up over the holidays, and I'll have them linked down below if you want to check them out. I think they're really cool when you're trying to work on a nice piece and you don't want it touching your workbench. So where I live, it is brutally cold right now, so I'm using this indoor heater to dry out the wood before I actually go ahead and apply my finish. Not sure if this is a good practice or not, but I just wanted to be sure that it was dry before applying finish.
All right, so we are still working on this DIY live edge desk for my girl, and we've pretty much got everything sanded down and stained, and now we're going to be attaching these legs that I ordered off Amazon. So I'm pumped to put those on. It's going to be very DIY friendly to put those on. The only issue I have thus far is on this side. It's going to be a little tight, and it's actually going to stick out. So I don't know. That's kind of not cool, is what I've realized. So stay tuned, we'll figure it out. These legs, there's a wide variety of different ways that you could do this. I actually just have these 2-inch screws on hand that I'm gonna use. Some people use inserts, some people use threaded inserts. I'm gonna pre-drill all my holes though. Highly recommend this. That way you won't get any tear out. We are on the edge, my peeps. The very edge. Going over to side 2 now. One thing to note is always use what you have on hand. Don't feel the need to go out and spend more money. Unless it is a tool, highly recommend picking up new tools because the right tool for the right job will get the job done. But again, keep within your budget because one, projects can add up really quickly. Tools can add up really quickly too. But I had these laying around. I had this slab laying around. I figured, hey, let's build my shorty a desk. And that is what she's getting because I love her. All right, putting in the last screw here. Nice thing about these legs is they do have adjustable feet that will go on top of them too. So if anything's off or wonky, you could always adjust it as needed. But let's get this flipped up, have a look at it, and get it into the space. All right, so there you have it. This is the Live Edge DIY computer desk. Super DIY friendly. I'm really pumped with the way that this finished turned out. It is super smooth. That wet sanding does wonders. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. If you think I earned it, give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.